This is a production of the Must-See TV Broadcast Network, like ShareJoin, and follow us for all the latest updates. Like what you see, then throw those stars and show your support. And don't be shy, subscribe to the caveman. He won't bite, and if you're watching us right now on YouTube, then you already know what to do. Smash that like and subscribe button. Even one view can prevent one puppy from being shaven. A big fist pump goes to Donna, AI, and Music Mint for the incredible music that is in this episode. All rights belong to Christopher Michael Egerhos, a.k.a. the Caveman. So if he's ready, and if you're ready, then let's kick this show off. Growl, growl.
Lights up on the screen, it's time to see 5 days a week, we're where you wanna be. Exclusive shows and reels, we got the vibe. Tune into the network, hop on Facebook Live. Riding with the stars in our unique groove. Laughter twists and turns within every move. Must-see TV's the place to catch it all. Epic moments, big and small, give us a call. Oh, you know it's must-see TV, come alive. Every day we light the way on Facebook Live. Catch the magic, hear the roar, feel the beat. Must-see TV, the place where worlds meet. Jump right in, the fun's about to start. Bringing shows and stories straight to your heart. With every post and every share, we're free. Gotta get that fix of must-see TV. Round and round, don't let this moment fade. Together on this ride, the best we've ever made. Get the popcorn ready, it's your time to shine. Must-see TV will keep you feeling fine. Oh, you know it's must-see TV, come alive. Every day we light the way on Facebook Live. Catch the magic, hear the roar, feel the beat. Must-see TV, the place where worlds meet. Oh, you know it's must-see TV, come alive. Every day we light the way on Facebook Live. Catch the magic, hear the roar, feel the beat. Must-see TV, the place where worlds meet.
Footsteps pounding on ancient stone, through the worlds where seeds are sown, twisting myths in the ether's gale. Legends whispered, their voices frail. Planes they call through the endless night, walking shadows, bleeding light. A clash of stars where gods once bled, echoes rise of the words unsaid.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Planes Walking the Multiverse. I need more coffee. Coffee. But on this episode, we continue on our journey discussing the lore on the Necrons. But I'm not here alone because I'm not allowed to do this stuff by myself, talking about lore. I am forbidden If I do, I'll be sued out of this galaxy. So I'm gonna bring in the expert now. The one, the only magic historian, aka Mike Catcher. How's it going, buddy?
Not too bad, man. I don't think I'm as juiced up as you are today. I don't know what you got into.
Well, I mean, I'm excited because of last, right? You left us on a cliffhanger, right? So I'm just excited to go into more of the Necrons.
Right on. All right. Well, I can get down with that, man. Because, yeah, the stuff going on with the Necrons is pretty wild. It turns out I do have to put one clarification out there. I was calling the Star Gods the Satan because that's how it looks like it's pronounced to me. And that's actually what I've been calling them for, I don't know, probably like the last 6 or 7 years because I never knew that it's actually the Kurtan.
Oh.
The Kurtan is what these guys are called.
Wait,
but it's
what?
spelled like C.
That's
It's spelled
stupid.
C''Tan. I know, actually, I like the Satan better. It
Yeah,
sounds better. So I just had to say that I was messing that up, apparently. That's not what the Star Gods are called.
Bro,
So,
you
since
do
we're
not
in the
you
lore-
you do not have to worry. I fuck up the names all the time, and we go back and forth.
No, normally, like, it doesn't matter in everyday life, but, you know, since we're talking about it for other people,
Yeah.
we may as well toss
Yeah,
it out there.
for sure.
Anybody who heard the first one and was just like, that's not what they're called. What are you even saying? They can be like, oh, yeah, finally. All right. We've cleaned the slate on that. So, here's the deal. We left off talking about, it went like this. The Star Gods had helped the Necrons, but mostly just tricked and hosed the Necrons over.
Right.
So, the Star Gods had turned the Necrons into unfeeling metal men, but at the cost of their souls. So now
Right.
they would live forever.
Right.
Didn't have to worry about radiation. But the Star Gods ate their souls. And then they basically started a war with the old ones, which were the enemies of the Necrons, right? This is what you remember, that the jealousy the Necrons had towards the old ones,
Right, yes,
crazy
yes.
technology,
Yes.
and their long lives. That's what the Star Gods played on. But the Star Gods also wanted the old ones just out of the picture. So with the Necrons converted this way, the Star Gods basically started using the Necrons as their tools and started just wiping out everybody everywhere. It's like, all right, we're just taking over. Like, we're going to enslave everybody. We're going to destroy and take whatever we want. The Star Gods gained so much power from feeding on the Necron souls that they could just unleash insane powers. We're talking on the higher level of the power scale, creating black holes that would be big enough to swallow entire solar systems.
Oh,
right?
dude.
So, I know. Imagine trying to consider facing off against those. You have, like, the Necrons are fucked. They have no choice
Yes.
but to obey the Star Gods, because the Star Gods can literally be like, look, man, we can wipe out entire solar systems now because of the power we
Yeah.
got from you. And so nobody could really stand up against them, and they started to obviously win the war against the old ones in a very hardcore fashion.
Right.
So they got a bit of a break in the form of the Laughing God managed to trick one of these Star Gods into starting like fights between the other gods. Basically, it was the domino effect that started a war amongst all the Star Gods, and they just started fighting each other, right?
Oh,
They started
dude, that's
tearing each
sick.
other apart. Yeah, they started consuming each other, and I figured, because there's way more to this than I thought, I figured when we talk about the different sort of Necron troops and the special individuals in the Necrons, we can also talk about the Star Gods that actually survived.
Oh,
because most of them
absolutely.
got wiped out.
Absolutely. That
And
sounds
then-
insane.
Yeah, it's really cool, actually. I found that and was just like, damn it, I don't think I can fit this all in here for this particular episode, but I did want to mention the one in particular who was tricked, and that's the Outsider. So the Outsider is probably the most dangerous of the remaining Star Gods. He was responsible for consuming a ton of the other Kirtan. But what happened was a little bit of each of the gods that he consumed, a part of their mind remained and kind of invaded the essence of the outsider. And
Oh,
so
dude, that's sick.
Yeah, it drove him insane. It broke his brain. So this at this point, I believe he's on a self-imposed exile out in some unknown part of space. But when he is around any kind of mortal beings, it literally just madness spreads just by being near him. He's insanely powerful. And so you've got all this infighting going on with the Star Gods. And at the same time, the old ones realized that they weren't going to be able to stop the Necrons and the Star Gods on their own. They needed help. So they created their own races, some of which would end up turning out to be orcs and things like that later down the road, like the earlier versions, prototypes almost of orcs, right? So they created those. They created the Eldari. So the Eldari are psychically powered elves, essentially, right?
Right.
So these, essentially, how does it work here? The psychic abilities of these particular Eldari are anathema to the Star Gods. So the Star Gods despise and can't stand warp energy, psychic energy. It's utterly alien to their nature.
Right.
And there's nothing they can do about it. So by the old ones creating these like psychic elves, they created a squad of unstoppable soldiers. In terms of the Necrons weren't able to stop them because the Necrons don't have psychic powers themselves, really. And then the Star Gods are incapable of doing anything about this psychic power. So more and more of these psychic lesser races are created by the old ones. And the tides start to turn. The Star Gods, the Necrons, now they're on the back foot. They're losing. But there is a side effect that nobody could see coming, and that is by having that many psychers all blasting out psychic energy and all these new presences, basically like psychic individuals show up in the warp, right? That's how people can reach out. So enough of them together causes the warp to tear open and starts to just spill out crazy monsters. So now you have like crazy warp beasts that have entered the fray, and they're not on anybody's side but their own.
Oh,
right?
geez, that's sick. That's so... You have this mass... Like, it's chaos, right? It's literal chaos and madness.
Absolutely. And then it gets even crazier because out in some of these warp monsters are these things called enslavers. And what they can do is they can take you over and bend your will to theirs and make you do what they want. But if they manage to take control of a psychic individual, so if an enslaver...
Are we talking about, like, the same, like, slavers, like, in D&D?
They're called enslavers.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, and they're basically like warp monstrosities
that
can take over sentient beings' minds.
Right.
So they spill out, and they can take you and I over, but that'd just be like whatever, because we're regular people.
Yeah.
If they can take over anybody who has psychic powers, they can then force that psyker to actually tear open more holes in the warp. So it's basically like every psyker an enslaver takes over equals another portal that is just pouring monsters out of the warp, right?
Jesus.
So, yeah, it's a very difficult problem to deal with because it compounds on itself. So you have these guys, and all they want to do is get more of them out of the warp and also lay waste to everybody. So this changes things up. Now the dynamic isn't like a straight up one side's winning, the other side's losing.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, the old ones would have won if this didn't happen. But because it did, it kind of fucked everything up. And the Star Gods were able to turn things back around. And ultimately, the Star Gods were the victors out of this. So at the end of it, the old ones either ended up being completely wiped out or driven to different parts of space.
Right.
So it's not 100% clear whether the old ones still exist in any way or shape or form, but they are fully gone at that point. So then you have the star gods. There's only, I believe, 4 or 5 of them left at this point. Like, almost all the star gods are gone from them just consuming each other. They have depleted a fair bit of their power in this struggle to survive. And that's when the Silent King makes his move. And I don't know if you remember, but the Silent King is the last ruler
Yes,
of the Necrons.
yes.
He was the one who was responsible for dealing with these star gods, and he's
Yeah.
responsible for the Necrons' fate. So he ends up basically, he has a plan. He's been waiting for this. He wanted to try and overthrow the star gods all along, but first of all, the Necrons couldn't beat the old ones, so they needed the star gods for that. Secondly, the star gods were horrifically powerful. So much like in a game of Commander, he just kind of sat back
Yeah.
and let these other guys wail on each other. And then, oh, look, okay, now that you're weak, we're going to try and swoop in and take you down.
Right.
So that's when the Necrons turned to overthrow the tyranny of the star gods. So first thing they do is they whip out the god-slaying hyper cannons. So these massive cannons meant to destroy the star gods that are so powerful that they actually damage causality itself. They are reality altering. That is the level of these cannons.
Jesus,
So they
dude.
they fucking bam, they blast these cannons into the star gods. And the whole situation is only the Silent King actually remembers what happened, because the reality warping power of the cannons, plus the fact that the Silent King has the ability to change the memories and control the minds of all the Necrons serving under him, because when they went through the process of becoming living metal, they also had engrammatic programming put in their brain that binds their will to the Silent King. So he basically wiped out all memory of this. So nobody actually knows what they did or how they did it, so that nobody later on could try and do that again, essentially, right?
Holy
This level of
shit,
power.
dude.
Yeah. And the most nutty part about this is the star gods are actually so powerful that you can't actually really kill them. The only way to get rid of the star gods 100% was for them to consume each other. And even that, in the case of the Outsider, led to remnants being left stuck inside of him.
Right,
so
right.
The star gods are virtually impossible to destroy. And that's what happened in this case. These hypercannons didn't destroy the star gods. But what they did do is fracture them each into thousands of different pieces. So now you have thousands of star god fragments. And the Silent King had planned for this. He didn't anticipate that they would be powerful enough to actually destroy the star gods, considering their primordial fundamental nature. So instead, he basically had a bunch of tesseract labyrinths created. So these are about the size of your hand. It's a cube,
Right.
and it's a pocket dimension prism. So
Jesus.
it uses, it's really cool. It uses phase technology to trap the shard of the star god in it. And so that's what they did, is they went and trapped all the different shards of the star gods that they could. And now, because of the tesseracts, they're actually able to compel the star gods to fight for them. So
That's pretty cool.
it's pretty awesome, but it also is super dangerous, bro, because if anything happens to the Tesseract, right? If it gets damaged in any way,
Right.
the containment field gets ruptured, now that shard is loose and it can do whatever it wants. Like, it's only a fraction of a star god, but a fraction of a star god can wave its hand and melt a city.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, they're still obtusely powerful. So the Necrons actually sometimes, if a battle is going really poorly, if then the circumstances are right, they will intentionally release one of these shards and just like go, okay, just turn it loose, right? They're they're wary of bringing it out in the first place. So there's not a good chance they'll use them in the first place, and it's not like there's a high chance of them escaping, but
Right.
they really, really don't want it to happen again, right?
Right.
Like they have pretty much limitless power, and the only way to get rid of a shard once it's like actually like wandering around loose is you have to find a way to pierce its necrodermis body. If you can rupture the body, then it's no longer contained, and it will just, its energy will disperse in a big blinding explosion.
Like a supernova.
As it wends its way back into the solar winds. But
Like
I mean,
a
you're trying
supernova, right? It's just like
you could think of it that way for sure. But I mean, imagine how difficult it is to pierce the body of something that has these god level powers.
right.
Right?
It's going to be very, very difficult.
Yeah, and there's there's even a transcendent version of the shards, which are ones where basically up to a dozen fragments have actually been combined together into an ultra godlike being.
Right.
And the powers that they wield, absolutely insane. Like antimatter meteors, an orb of like antimatter that literally moves itself, and then they can also just whip it wherever they want. They can unmake things with a touch. Like they can just destroy you with a single look. If you imagine it, they can pretty much do it. It's the one problem they run into is that they're not used to having a physical form, so they don't think of using their physical form. Like a Star God shard would never think to itself, yo, I'm super powerful. I could just punch a hole through this guy's chest. It doesn't physically conceive of its body in that way because
Right.
it's such a nebulous concept to its normal nature. So it can literally be like, I'll melt you with my mind, but I won't just backhand you down to the ground.
Right.
So it's pretty... I don't know. I just find that contrast to be interesting. I think that
Yeah,
the
I agree.
Star Gods are really cool, and I enjoy the way that the Star Gods manipulate the Necrons, and then the Necrons end up flipping it back around. But once the Necrons had actually managed to bind these Star God shards, then they decided. The Silent King decided. He decided that it was time for the Great Sleep, where the Necrons would basically go dormant on all these different planets across their gigantic kingdom empire. And the idea was that these new psychic races that were springing up would be able to defeat the Necrons. And so because they were essentially immortal, they may as well we will just go into hibernation until these flesh beings waste away, as all flesh beings do. So
Yeah.
the plan was to just bide their time. And then they had the Silent King, when he had all of his people laid to rest, he cut the control of the Engram so that they all now have free will, and he went out into isolation all by himself into the deep reaches of space in an exile for penance for what he had done to his people.
Oh, sweet. That's epic.
Yeah, sure is.
So next episode we're gonna talk. We'll be talking about the different units, correct?
Yeah, well, I know you like that one. I
Yeah.
know you like talking about and looking at units,
Yeah.
even though you can't see them that well. You can see them well enough.
You
Anyways, yeah.
suck. You fat bastard. You suck. So anyway, guys, that will do it for this episode. Please leave us a comment and reach out and say how you liking this episode so far. How you liking the Necrons? But before we go, we always have to try Facebook. We always have to try. So, Roland, let's see if there's any growls today.
We can try. I know on my cell phone it shows that there's 2 viewers, but
Yeah.
I can't see who their names are.
Okay. All right. There's probably more. Watch, I opened mine. There's going to be like 80 views and like 40 people in the live chat. Thank you, Facebook. We really appreciate it. So, guys, we'll see you Thursday for the premiere of Storytime Naruto. we're really excited for all this stuff. If you haven't watched these shows before, it's I am a writer, so I take some of my scripts, and I give a audio narration to them. I know Roland is looking forward to that. So until then, guys, take care, be safe, be well, and we love you all! 50,000 plus, and may the Necrons be with you. Roland, take me home, buddy.
All right.
Through the blazing hells on paths unknown, with shattered thrones and skies of